Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Empowering New Nurses. I'm Dr. Miriam Smith, the host for Empowering New Nurses, the author of Nurse, the Guide to Empowering New Nurses in the delivery of high quality care to all patients. Now, on with us today, we have someone that we're going to be interviewing, somebody special who has known nursing, who has been a part of nursing, who have passed on the baton to younger nurses. And at the same time, she is continuing to share her knowledge and her expertise in helping other nurses, younger nurses, new nurses to grow in this noble profession. Welcome, 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 Dr. Gloria Watson. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to be here with us today. Listen, young nurses, older nurses, seasoned nurses, we have someone special here today who is glowing with brightness, expertise, and to encourage our young nurses to pursue and to continue in this noble profession. Dr. Gloria, can you kindly tell us something about yourself? Your background, your qualification, and where you were and where you are now. How about that?
So, Dr. Smith, I'm really very happy to be here with you this afternoon to share my experience as a nurse.
Great.
I have been fortunate enough that, I had support from older nurses.
All right.
Throughout my career. And nursing is one of those professions where you're ever growing. There's, for professions that do research, and nursing does research, there is always something to learn. So one of the first things you have to have as a nurse is a willingness to learn. And I was born, I think, with a crave for knowledge. So I've been just growing throughout my career. So just a little bit about myself. I am number 8 of 8 children. And I considered my older siblings my teachers. There was always something to learn from them. And so that too added to my crave for knowledge. So how I came into nursing, one of my brothers was very interested in the sciences. And as a little girl, I used to read his microbiology books. His biology books, not microbiology, his biology books. And so I developed a love for human anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
I also did general biology in school, so I also love plant biology. If you go to my office, you will see a lot of plants. So when I finished high school, I decided to go to nursing school. So this was, I'm like you, Dr. Smith, originally from Jamaica. And so I went to nursing school at the University of the West Indies School of Nursing.
Great.
It was really a great experience. I had teachers who wanted to see nursing grow. And that's really key. For us as nurses, we want to see the profession grow.
Yes.
And I also have a love for teaching. So I'm constantly sharing what I can with other nurses.
Great.
So I started my nursing career in 1986. And it has just been a wonderful, challenging experience since then.
I like that. You said it's a wonderful, challenging experience.
Yes.
That is great. That is great.
The thing for me about nursing is you have to have a love of caring for people, and not just caring in the physical sense, but also caring in the emotional sense. And I think when you bring that into the profession, you will really just grow. You will have aches and pains because caring for somebody, when you see them suffering, you will empathize, and you'll probably also cry with them when they're crying. But you're there to support them, whatever the outcome of their health experiences is, whether it's, whether they recover and do well, or if you're just there supporting them at the end of life. So being a loving, caring profession, that's what we do.
Thanks so much for sharing. You emphasize the fact that you were trained in another part of the world, and that's Jamaica. And you have attended one of the schools that I attended, because after I finished my bachelor's at Northern Caribbean way back, I attended the University of West Indies to do my critical care. That's my postgrad at the time. So I worked there for a very short time. However, it's interesting to know that so many of us, it was like an exodus, came to America. And the time I came was 1986.
Okay.
And that's the time you started. But
Time I was entering the profession.
but we have come a long way, and you have seen that. What would you tell our young nurses, especially with this great shortage right now, as an administrator? I know you have had experiences whereby you have to, what you say, you would have to say, now, I have to, get nurses from this part to that one, transfer, and that can be challenging sometimes. Tell us in 2 minutes what that's like for you.
So currently, I work in quality management. But during the years 2017 through the beginning of 2020, I was an off-door ADN. And I had to deal with staffing issues. I was also because I was working off shift, and we had some administration. I was also the the administrator on duty. So whatever issues there were in the hospital, whether they were nursing or not, I was responsible for addressing those issues. And so in this role as off-door ADN, I had to be doing scheduling and calling people and encouraging them to come into work to supplement the shortage of nursing staff. And at the same time, I had to be on the units supporting the staff. It's really key as a nurse at the bedside to have support from leadership.
Yes, definitely.
If we don't have that support from leadership, we get to the burnout stage really quickly. The other thing that I found being a leader in nursing is that if you are willing to roll up your sleeves and assist the nurses at the bedside, they are more willing to work when you want them to work. So even if they're off and you get on the phone and you call them and you ask them to come in, because they know that you are supportive of them, they will make that effort if they can to come in and be supplement and be there for their colleagues.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know we're coming down to the end of our interview, but in leaving, I know I'm going to ask you to come back, because you're resourceful, you have the knowledge, and you have the expertise to help, to guide, and to give suggestions to help our nurses. Within few sentences, what would you say to our young nurses who are planning to leave the profession? They're young, they're new, they don't have much experience, but they're challenged sometimes. What would you say? Give me a few words. What would you say to my young nurse who's coming on, but she seemed so overwhelmed? What would you tell her?
I would tell her that there is more to nursing than just being at the patient's bedside. You know, we don't just walk into the profession and get to the top, right? We have to face the challenges. You know, try to network, find a supportive network with your colleagues, support each other. This is really, really key. Find leaders who will support you. Look at the different roads into which nursing can take you. Because, you know, as a young nurse coming into the career, I just thought I was going to be at a patient's bedside caring for the patient. And that was what I was going to do throughout my career. But as I developed in the profession, I saw where you could explore other avenues that were still within the profession, right? And as you get older, you find that some of your skills diminish. But if you position yourself where you can move into more leadership and other avenues other than bedside, then there is a wealth of knowledge that you will gain. There is just so many things that you can do still within the profession. And you know, I'm blanking on this. I was trying to remember. There's an organization that publishes each year something about the most trusted professions.
Yes.
Nursing is always number one. Above the clergy, above lawyers, above doctors, nursing is, each year when I look at it, I see nursing as number one because people do trust us.
Yes.
And it gives a good feeling. So at the end of the day, you may feel overwhelmed. In fact, it might not even be at the end of the day. I remember there were times when I went to work and the workload was such that I was, how am I going to manage? Right? But because of the way my colleagues and I worked together and supported each other, we got through each day. And we went back day after day and continued to support each other. And over time, we get to a point where we just so grateful for the experience we have had in our profession, good or bad, because both good and bad helped us to grow. So I would encourage young nurses to stick with the profession. You will grow. You will excel if you set your mind to excel. And I also would encourage them, whatever you can do to continue to build on your skills and knowledge, go ahead and do it, because it will put you in a better position to navigate the challenges of this profession.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on, Doctor. Thank you so much, Dr. Watson. You have said it. Our young nurses, we're encouraging you. We definitely encouraging you that when you face challenge, there are many resources out there. Your colleagues, your mentor, the YouTube, their knowledge, the leadership. They advocate for yourself as you advocate for your patients. Throw yourself into it because it can only help you to grow and be stronger and be able to administer or provide the high quality care for all our patients. Now, as we end, I just want to say thanks to Dr. Watson for coming on and sharing her expertise and her knowledge. I know she'll be coming back. I know she'll be coming back. And as she said, she has gained so much experience from the bedside and also in leadership. And she advanced herself, as you will see, terminal degree. And that's, you see the books behind her? That's not a play. That's real. That's real. Those times of studying, sleepless nights, researching, putting it all together, redoing, doing over, and all that. It's like a package. But at the end of it all, you would have said it was worth it all. So, and although she's doctor in public health, public health, public health, and I'm in the clinical setting. I'm all in the clinical nurse. I'm nurse, right? But my doctorate is in clinical nursing. That's the DNP. And so I've done a lot of that. Man, I mean, I know some of you, my students, I've seen you out there performing and doing excellently, doing abundantly, greatly. So I have put some of my information that I've gleaned over the years with others into this book on my retirement. Nurse, the guide to empower new nurses in the delivery of high quality care to all patients. And some of what she has just said and some of what I've said, it's all in here. Self-care, don't forget that. Advocating for your patient, the mindset change, it's all in here. Communication, whether therapeutic or non-therapeutic, caring for the patient, communicating effectively, it's all in here. There are tits and bits, there are nuggets, there are pearls that you can embrace, okay? And when you go to work, there are some key points that you should embrace. And I have them, many of them in here that you can learn from. And it will just help to enhance your journey. It will just help to enhance your journey. So I encourage you to get your copy on Amazon. It's both in Kindle and it's in the hard copy. I mean, copy like this, paperback. So this is what it looks like. You got to go on Amazon and get your copy. And you will see for yourself. And I know Dr. Watson will be coming back. And those of you who have read it already, you can attest to the information that's there. This service, empowering new nurses in delivering high quality care, it's right here. And we're here to help you. We're here to embrace, for you to embrace this noble profession with all the goodies, Remember, they're challenging times too, but it's worth it. When you're satisfied as a nurse and the patient is satisfied and everybody, the interprofessional team satisfied, then the patient will go back home. Best way of meeting their family and going back into society and doing what? And contributing in their own way. So again, I want to say thank you, Dr. Watson. And I can be connected or contacted on YouTube at Miriam Amanda Smith. On Facebook, I'm also Instagram, Podcast Mir. And podcast is empowering new nurses. All our nurses need to be empowered because there's so much. Their uniqueness is there to glow and to grow and to blossom. And everyone not going to be a leader. Everyone is not going to be a leader in public health. But you have your uniqueness where you're a leader. Right at the bedside, you're doing your leadership. But on another level, we're talking. So
yes, they may not be a manager, but they are certainly leaders.
Yes. Thanks for that. So we just want to say thanks for coming on, and soon I'll be coming on live sometimes, and I will let you know that for sure when it will be. It will be soon, all right? You know, next month will be Women's Month, right? Women's Month, March. And we have whatever, if you're impressed to come and share on this platform, I'll be willing to have you. You and you and you. Some of my colleagues, some of my former students, you know, and it's just nice to see the progress, Dr. Watson. So thanks again for coming on, and we'll see you again on this platform.
Thank you for having me. And I'm certainly happy to share what I can share and will contribute in the future whenever you ask me to.
Thank you. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.